Welcome to Hey Clarity. I'm your host, Lindsay, and today we're doing a collective Akashic Records reading for the month of December. The questions that we're going to ask are, what's the overall energy for the month? What's the energy or what can we expect for the first week, second week, third week, fourth week? And then finally, what's the most important message we need to know about the month? I'm also going to do our year ahead 2026 reading soon. I'm in the process of moving. So this might be the last video in my apartment here. And it could be messy in my new apartment for a little while, but I will try and get the 2026 reading out either before I'm out of here or definitely before like mid-December, you'll have it. Normally I do it November, but I'm moving, so things are a little hectic. So December. Let's get into the energy of December. What is the overall energy for the month of December? Like rushed, no rushed. Rushed, not rushed. They're saying there's like a little bit of a balancing act of maybe something inside of us or something I'm getting like brewing or boiling underneath the surface for us that wants us to act now. But then in reality, it's like our inner world, our inner realm wants us to like take action. But I'm seeing in our external kind of like immediate environment, there's like no urgency, no rush, no emergency. And so we might be kind of dealing with this like start and stop feeling. And I'm getting that like, that, that can be frustrating or it can be confusing. But it's like, it's almost like our minds are like getting way ahead of us. They're like way into the future. They're like making a future, planning a future, strategizing a future, and like wanting to like get to it. But then it's not even that there are blocks necessarily or obstacles. It's that it doesn't feel right to do the thing yet. So in reality, there's no urgency. In our immediate environment, in our living every day to day, there's no urgency. And so that can give us a bit of a like discomfort or even this almost like a feeling of like cabin fever, like within our bodies, like within ourselves. So that's the energy of December. And it's a little bit of like, I'm getting like wrapping up the year of 2025 and being like done with it, like so done with it and being ready to start anew and like leaning into what's new. Like the new year coming up gives us this like historical feeling of hope, starting fresh, a reset. They're like the reset, it's the reset button, right? In all the ways that we have embodied that tradition, the conditioning around that. And, depending, it's the end of the calendar year, right? And depending on where you're from and what your tradition is, there's another new year at another time. So I'm just getting like somehow we are holding this sense of urgency and like, it's like not stagnation. It's just not yet, like not yet, not ready. It's not ready, set, go in December. I'm just going to ask them how we can kind of deal with that before we go into like each week. How can we manage that start-stop feeling? They're laughing at us and they're like, take a load off, like kick your feet up, like learn to just chill, learn to chill out, like try to do nothing. Like they're kind of like, are you guys even capable anymore of doing nothing? Even when we're doing nothing, we're doing something. They're like, you're constantly juggling things. They're like, we're always like, we'll be like on the couch watching TV, flipping through our phone. It's like, oh, I'm doing nothing. I'm like, no, you're not doing nothing. Like you guys don't know what nothing means anymore. So they're like encouraging us and supporting us to literally like, what would it look like if you sat on your couch or kicked your feet up and like stared around the room, and they're like, yeah, you're going to get bored. They're like, oh, they're going to be so bored when we say that. But like, read a book, stare out the window. They're like, your brains might find your brains might consider do nothing as like going to a coffee shop or going to a park and people watching. And they're like, that's your like new level of do nothing. And that's technically doing something. Like you're in a place, you're out and about, you're watching people, that's people watching. But they're like, that's what you guys, that's your baseline of like do nothing. So they're like try and do a lot of nothingness. And I'm getting to like laugh at yourself. Like there's some sort of challenge of like letting yourself be bored in those moments and like laughing at yourself of like kind of what comes up for you. But they're also saying it's also a time of like sociability and celebration and getting together and holidays. And so they want us to do a lot of that, but I'm getting like we can get maxed out really fast. So they're showing like a holiday event, and it might just be like one or two big energies of celebrations in a month. But I'm getting that like we need to like catch our breath, or like we need to catch up. Like we might be surprised, like we might want to do all the things, all the social things. We want to socialize, and then realize that like one big event might take us out socially, might like fill our like social quota, our meter for like a whole week. We might need like a week to recover from social stuff. There's something about the dynamics of each other, of people. Like we're all holding so much. We're all going through so much. We've all been through so much this very like reflective year. And so I'm just getting like we're these huge balls of like energy, and some of it's really pent up. So when we're in spaces together, we're all just like magnified. There's like a magnitude of our energy. So that's why they're like, you might want for like mental and emotional health, obviously, to be connecting with your loved ones and your friends and celebrating and meeting new people and doing all the fun things. But you might get caught off guard at how quickly your meter drops down from like 100 to 0. And so they're just kind of like, honor your system, honor your body, and know that like, they're kind of like permission to live like freely, kind of like no guilt or shame if you bow out, of an event. And they're like, even if you like go and like 1 to 2 hours is like too much for you, and you're like, you have to leave early because you're just like really spent. They're just saying be flexible with yourself and with like other people too, because like it's really not, it's never personal. But there's something about like our energy levels this month, and like the expectations and then like the reality might catch us off guard. So they're like, kick your feet up, no expectations, and they're like, listen to your human body. Listen to your human body. Okay. What's the energy of week 1 in December? They said fallout. What does that mean? Fallout. Fallout. Like I'm seeing a person sitting in a chair and like falling out of the sky. What is this fallout? We might hit a road bump or have a rift with someone in the first week of December. Like there may be some falling outs with people, unexpected. Can you explain that a little bit more? Why? And why is that like a collective thing? there may just be some abrupt endings, some like quick fallouts with friends, or there's something about pressure. Like there's been pressure cooking maybe in some of our connections, whatever types of relationships. And so there might be something that there's like a rift, something happens and there might be a fallout in our lives in the first week. And it's a bit of a delayed reaction. So they're referencing, all of these recent readings for the past few months, maybe even the whole year. I've been talking about relationships and how this year we're going through these waves of like doing inventory of our relationships and, who are we clicking with and who are we not? And so I get this sense of like who I'm talking to here. We may have been doing that work all year where we were kind of like letting people go. So in our minds, we kind of already know the tiers of where our connections are, whether they've been spoken or not. We've already gotten to that point. We were on that wave where we've been doing that. And we're inviting in, like we've got this new energy coming in, right? We've got new people coming in. So we've already had the closure about these relationships. This feels like not who I'm talking to, not us, other people maybe catching up and recognizing, and like whether it was spoken or unspoken, we might have some of those people come back and like want to cut off some connection with you, but it's almost like we've already decided it's done. So it's almost like it's unexpected, they're saying, but it's not a surprise. And like, we're not really going to be affected by it. So it's like, we've already come to the conclusion. Like we're like ahead of, we've done the reflection. We've already made the decisions, but there might be people coming to actually like, exclaim, say the thing, like whatever, or have some sort of reaction of just like, I don't want to be your friend anymore. I mean, whatever. It's like the energy of it. Or someone just might say something like, this isn't working for me. But I feel like, as sad as it is, it's almost like it's not surprising. And like, we've already decided that it's over. So it's the levels, the waves of, who's on what wave of making those realizations. That's what it feels like. So we might have some like actual, expressed fallout within the first week of December. But they're like, not to worry, like, even if it hurts, even if it stings, what was said or unsaid, if it comes through, if it comes up, they're like, you've been kind of prepared for it. They're like, you'll be fine. Anything else for the first week? They're like unexpected fallouts, possibly. Expected, unexpected. It's like fallouts, unexpected, but not surprising. Okay. That's kind of weird. Anyway. Okay, week 2. What is the energy of week 2? What is the energy of week 2? Okay. So they're showing like 2 energies coiling, wrapping around each other. Like I see 2 like spiral wires coming together. So I'm getting like in the second week, there's like new bonds, like things are becoming like integrated and intertwined. And I think this is also why first week might not sting so bad, is because it's not like we lose people and then we're dropped. It's like we've already been nourishing and nurturing these new connections, and they're starting to, it's kind of like unraveling and it's kind of like opening, but I'm seeing them intertwining. They're not twisting. So it's almost like I've got these 2 wire spirals like next to each other, kind of like spiral up, spiral down, and then they spiral into each other, but they're not twisting. It's like they just kind of fit. So we might have some like really nice, they keep saying intertwined, like engaging connections with people. Something fits, some puzzle fits, something makes sense. Anything else for the second week? They're like, stay observing that, though. Like enjoying yourself in this and stay observing it. Okay. Tell me about the third week. What's the third week of December like? I'm seeing various levels of color going from transparent, translucent to more opaque. They're showing me like deeper, richer colors and tones. Our lives are becoming more colorful in these deeper, richer colors. So they're showing like as if, you were dyeing indigo, and it's like the first dip is like this light color, and then you dip it again and it's darker and darker, darker. Every time you dip in, it gets deeper and darker and richer. And it feels like that's what's happening. They're just like colorful living, colorful lives, like colorful relationships. Like, but there's something interesting about transparency and then like becoming more opaque. Can you guys explain that a little bit more? It's like solidified. It's like, and they're both good, right? We love transparency, as we're like getting used to, comfortable with someone or something. We want to know what we're getting into. And then it's like, it's deeper, it's more opaque. It's interesting. It's like, I don't know if it becomes deeper and richer, and like solid in a way that we want to like protect it or incubate it. And so there's a sense of privacy. There's a sense of, and makes sense with like going into the season, right? December 21st would be within the third week, and we're going to be going into winter, the winter solstice. But I'm seeing that like us wanting to be more private and secluded and exclusive with our connections, and like enriching them in these deep ways, just like in our like immediate environment, immediate life. And I'm getting the sense that it's like almost like the things that you do like behind closed doors. There's something about it, like incubating it and protecting it. And it's just so good there. Like it's so good in that place. It's not I want to share this with the world. It's not, I want to show this off. It's like if you're getting into relationships or you've got projects that you're working on, you're not like, oh, I want to tell everyone on social media all this stuff, or I've got this new relationship or whatever. And like, you don't really want to tell anybody. And it's not like that it's a hidden secret. It's that you're just so enveloped in the experience and you're just like soaking it in. And there's something about how we leak the energy of things when we're kind of giving it away and showing it and allowing for it to exist and take on a life of its own, and exposing it to like projections and judgment and all the things from other eyes looking on it. There's something about us just wanting to just be enveloped in it, just like really in it. And it's beautiful. And it could be in many areas of our lives. Like we're cherishing, the people and the places that we love so much. We're being very protective. We have a heightened sensitivity of others. And we don't want anything to like hurt or ruin or spoil or harm these things, these people that we love and cherish so deeply. So it feels private, but it feels really deep and like yummy. Okay. Tell us about the fourth week. Tell us about the last week of December. There's a little bit of like a hooray, we did it. Like we survived 2025. Like knowing the severity of all the things that happened this year. we're really just recognizing like, holy shit, like I'm still intact, like pinch me, am I still alive? Like reflecting back on like our adaptability and like the ways that we've come through for each other, you know, how much stronger you might be, how much, you know, more humble you might feel, how much more grounded you might feel. I'm just getting like it's so real. And us recognizing like our mental and emotional health. And, you know, how did you take care of yourself this year? How did you protect yourself? How did you grow? How did you, you know, combat all the chaos that took place? And so it is like, they're kind of like no reflection, reflection, deep reflection, like whatever that is. We are in a little bit of a like, I'm alive, like pinch me. Like, holy shit, like I'm still alive. Because we're kind of like, there were so many times where like we felt dead, you know, or we felt the threat of, you know, threat towards our survival so many times. And then thinking about the people that we've lost. And I'm seeing them above in the clouds as our guides, as our guardians, as those who are taking care of us. So just seeing how many people, I'm getting chills up my legs. Big time, big time. All the loved ones who passed this year, how they're, chills, they won't stop. Chills up my legs, they won't stop. It's almost like they're raining love down on us. And it's like they get to support us and love us in spirit now. And so there's excitement from the spirit world of just like, you know, I'm sorry we left. So sad that we left this year. But look what we can do with you now. Look how we can join hands between heaven and earth. It's really big and beautiful. And so reflecting on that, but I feel like maybe in the past, and certainly there's always the sorrow and the grief and of the loss. But I'm getting that there's a little bit of we're looking up and we're like, I know you're there. Because since you've left, I felt you around. I felt you here. And so it's almost like, you know, the mourning of the loss, but also looking up with like a smile on your face and like a little smirk of just like, I know you're still here. I'm getting chills everywhere. I freaking love this. It's a big message for the year. So it's celebration of surviving and a graduation and like an elevation of our passed on loved ones, of those we've lost over the years throughout our lifetime, and certainly those that we've lost recently or within this year. And I'm seeing them like dropping little gifts. Like I see little gift, like box, like little presents with bows on them on like little tiny gold strings, all coming down from heaven. They're giving us gifts. So I'm just seeing them like fishing line, like fishing them down to us. They're like, get my gift, get my gift. So like at the end of this year, like look for the gifts from them. Like they're bringing us gifts, they're giving us gifts. And if you don't have that relationship, start or consider to have it, even if it's just having a conversation with them and just talking to them and letting them know that you're thinking of them and you know they're around, and kind of like a to be continued, you know? The relationship is evolving. The relationships are evolving. They keep going. Now what's your relationship with them going to be like? It's exciting. There's a lot of excitement. Anything else for the last week? They're like, that's it, that's enough. That's kind of a lot. For some people, that's enough. So what's the most important message we need to know about the month of December? Oof. I'm already getting ahead. They're like, don't get ahead. Don't get ahead. Well, what about me doing the 2026 year ahead reading? They're like, do it in 2 weeks. Okay, I'll do it in 2 weeks. I'll probably do it before that, but we'll see. Anything else for the most important message? Yeah, they're like, don't get ahead of yourselves. like be excited for the future. Get it, be excited for next year. But it's a little bit of like, can you be excited about the surprise of the unknown? Can you be excited about feeling refreshed and what that means? Like, how do you want to be, in small ways and in big ways? How do you want to be a different person? Who do you want to be? They're like, it's a perfect time, to consider those things. But they're saying like in small ways, like tiny, tiny things. Is it a superficial kind of like physical transformation that kind of sparks that in your mind, Like, do you get your hair done differently or different color? Just something like small tweaks so that you see yourself differently. They're kind of saying like, if you are stepping in, they're kind of like, we're all stepping into something new. And so to ritualize it in some sweet way, you know, gifting yourself some new something to have around to just remind you of just like this kind of like a benchmark. Something small, or it could be something big. Maybe it's a move, it could be a lot of different things, but they want us to have like a sweet little ritual around it, like a little something that we do to really like mark it in our minds. But they're like, don't get ahead of it. It's almost like just be ready, like be ready for something new or something renewed. Okay, I think that's it. They're like rebirth. There's a lot of rebirth energy. And they're showing the snake. We shed all that skin in the year of the snake. We shed all that skin. So much rebirth. We died so many times this year. I feel that way. I don't know about you. Yeah, cool. Okay. So that was the Akashic Records collective reading for the month of December. I hope you enjoyed that. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.